So all we're looking for is certainty. All we're looking for is your keen. But that, as you said, is that is the process that we go through. And the process might take us into, well, it will ask for complete surrender, but it will take us into environments that will teach us very quickly. But most people don't want to go into environments. They want to talk to people who have been in environments. Mm-hmm. But that won't do much. It will give them an idea of what they're looking for, but to get it,
you have to put yourself in the
you've got to be in
reality.
the environment, yeah. And it's like I say, I remember someone saying to me once, well, my friend isn't as good a martial artist as me, and he did well on the door, so that means I would do well on the door. But how do you know until you go on the door? Because the door is, it's like an acid test. If there are any weaknesses at all, they'll be highlighted on day one. Because someone will come up to the door. He doesn't care whether you're a first dan or a second dan. He doesn't care if you're desperate dan. He's just going to come up and he's going to challenge your authority because he's had a bad day, a bad week, a bad year, a bad life. And he's going to attack any authority figure. And if you show a weakness at all, this will be manipulated and engineered until it's a cavernous hole that everybody will walk through.
It's a psychological aspect of it. That's the
physical,
as well as the physical.
Yeah, the physical game, the physical game. I remember one of my karate friends saying to me, I sparred with Seymour the other day, and he goes, and I thought, you arrogant bastard, this Seymour is a legend. He's a legend. So he's not brilliant on the bag. So he's a little bit older than you, and you dominated him in the spar. Believe me, you go on the door with this guy, he would have your back anywhere. Anybody that he hadn't fought on the Coventry doors wasn't worth talking about. He was a legendary character. When I got a job with him, I felt like I'd been signed for United. I loved him. He was a black guy, very handsome, very smooth. Even his security badge was professionally taken. He was just one of these real smooth guys. But man, he was when it came to courage and working the doors, he was the man. But somebody else who was a karate, one of my friends who was a competition fighter, wasn't impressed. I said, well, if you come and stand on the door for a night, you'll be falling at his feet in awe because he's amazing. He's just an amazing. I can't stop telling people how amazing he is. I loved him, and it's. But he got that from the environment, and he would even take those views and wouldn't worry him. It wouldn't worry him what anybody else thought because he knows when it comes to it, he knows the gears he's got.
He can handle
he
the
can
danger.
Handle that,
he can handle the situation.
One of my students says, I think I'm ready to do the door now. I said, oh, really? He said, yeah. He said, I don't, I know I would never lose my bottle. I said, well, I already know you're not ready to do the door because I couldn't tell you that and I've been doing it for years. I said, how do you feel about someone ringing you at 4 a.m, threatening to shoot your wife and children? He said, I don't want that. I said, then don't work the door because that might happen the first night you work. It will certainly happen at some point. So it's a different world. It's when you bring these other ingredients in, it's a different world. It's not about having a fight. It's about being able to deal with the pre-fight, about the in-fight, the post-fight. It's been able to control the endocrine system. Most people can't even, most people can't fight the tide in the bath, let alone control the endocrine system. The endocrine system, this rush of passions, even for the most experienced people, it takes a tremendous strength. And where's that strength built? You build an eye wall and you sit in the middle and you watch the passions and they rush in and they try to storm the fort, but you've built an eye wall. And the eye wall absorbs the majority of that, that fire, and you keep protected in the centre. But if that eye wall breaks, you're gone. I've watched several of my friends who were doormen, and I've watched several of my friends who were businessmen who I've watched their eye wall crack, and I've watched them fall into the chaos of life, and some of them never recovered. This that lovely thing that we need to build an eye wall. How do we build an eye wall? By putting ourselves into a storm. Oh, nice. Who wants to put themselves into a storm? People want to go and sit with somebody who's been in a storm, but that doesn't build an eye wall. What builds an eye wall is a tremendous rush of passions.